5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is simming dungeon slice reliable? Not as a tank, I don't think.
The blood trolls are scattered, but we must
Okay, they want to fight this thing, so we're just gonna fight this. Let's just fight it with the matron. And we'll try to stop the biles with our stuns. Or fear. Go ahead and get rid of the maggot first. Let's save our stun, try to get a reset on our bleed here. Got a nice spirit link for this. I need to make sure I save a disrupt to stop the heal. Okay, died in time. Then try to get my avatar back up for the obelisk. Just get a stun and kite to reset bleeds. Reflect the first cast, and after that first cast, I'm just gonna save my reflect for the ad now. It's on Tyrannical, so the ad's gonna live a little bit longer, and everyone just use their kick right there. We have no kicks left. I need to make sure I'm closest to this ad so I got threat on it. Just pop my wall so I don't take too much damage. Now I want to do a pretty big pull after this, so I'm gonna make sure I have avatar going out of this. I'm just gonna have reflect for the boss here, but it got kicked. I'm gonna set this plant up here to my focus, so I have to kick on it. This guy's trying to... I'm not gonna be able to kick it. I'm gonna set the plant to my focus and then try to stop the maggots from casting. And stun that first one, and then I'll try to kill the swarmer here. And then the same thing on this pool. Set plant to focus and stop the maggot. And then try to get a reset on my Necrotic here. I'll pull this with the skeletons. But I don't want to pull more than one blood swarmer at a time, even though it's not fortified. I'll make sure I stun that. And I kite. We don't have a soothe, so I don't want to tank the debuff, but that DK is gonna end up tanking. Just popped off on that. Just gonna chain this swarmer in. Oh, it's just skeletons. And then look for a necrotic reset here. And same thing, set Blaster to focus. And then disrupt the maggot on the biles. Guess we can just fight this guy without lust. So he's gonna do his indigestion next. So I kind of want to position myself max melee and be able to strafe out when he casts indigestion so I don't take that damage. I didn't leap out in time because that corruption is slow, so I didn't react fast enough, but wasn't a high enough key to kill me at least. This corruption slow is really bad timing. Just gonna speed pot here, make sure we can soak up these. Got one more tantrum to get through. Can rally on this one. Just need to not die to this soaks. It's a lot of ticks. It's got the earth elite for this. Perfect. We can just kill this guy here. And then, because to walk, there's a lot of growths there you'd have to walk through. So, you don't want to take that extra damage. Unless you really want to skip the worm and you don't have like a shroud. You can drag him all the way through for that. But we'll probably just play the worm and then pull the skeleton back into the worm. It should be pretty easy. That skeleton pack is all the way down there. We'll just fight the worm by itself here. Then we'll just fight these two together. Put the defiler on my focus. I'm gonna stop the wicked frenzies. I'm gonna kite here.
What manner of creature is this?
I'm gonna try to aim the shockwaves at as many mushrooms as I can. Shockwave is blockable, so you want to have block up for every time that shockwave is about to go out. If you don't have block up, you can outrange it. So you want to do one or the other. On a Tyrannical, it's gonna hurt, so you need to make sure you have block or you outrange. And now I'm just gonna look for... This is the last upheaval before we get the harvest. So let's try to see if there's any mushrooms out there, but looks like we're okay. You can pop Spell Reflect to mitigate some of this damage. That AoE harvest. I'll show you guys outranging the shockwave here. Just position it right, and then we'll just leap. And I leapt over 2 mushrooms, unfortunately. And then we just reposition ourselves for the shockwave. And we'll outrange it like this too as well. And we have a lot to soak for this. I'm gonna soak 2. This could be really bad. Can rally. And a wall. I have 7 stacks. Alright, now we're gonna skip and go over here.
I have never seen this form of corruption.
It's gonna kill 1 worm here. If you don't have the coordination for kicks, you shouldn't pull this worm and the defiler, because you need some coordination of stuns and stuff. But we have a stun of it. I can stun this worm and have a kick for that. So We're able to kill the worm low or get the worm low enough to where we could kill it and have our kicks back up for this. We still need a bit of trash, so we're gonna do this pack up here. I think we'll grab this guy over here. I'm just gonna make sure I stay range from that mob that has the Wicked Frenzy. We still need like one more thing, I think. Still need this one worm. So those last two guys at the door give 12 count. So we need to make sure we have 12, at least 12 count remaining after we kill this one. I'm just gonna keep my distance from these scarabs, from their explosions, and for necrotic stacks. And then this spider can die along this wall at any point. There's a snap spot like right here. Can get him down. Basically, once it's along this wall, you're safe from pulling any worms, so you don't really have to go too far with it. So with this awaken pattern this week, it'll be the same next week. The fear guy is on the other side. So, was it the fear guy? No, it's the blob, right? Yeah, it's the blob that's on the other side. So we can just fight the blob with the last boss. That should be pretty simple. The thing about the blob on this last boss is you want to give yourself a little bit more space than normal when you move away for the frontal from the boss. So that when the blob drops its puddles, you're not like in a bad spot. You have enough space to maneuver. Snapping does not interrupt it. If it's casting, it won't snap to that spot, so it has to be not casting. Beach Boy, thank you for the tier 1 sub, man. I appreciate the support. So we'll pull this guy. I'm gonna hold on to our taunt to taunt the blob. So when we move here, I'm gonna wait for him to drop a puddle, his drop puddle. I'm gonna move a little bit further than normal. He's dropping those puddles. And then we'll get back into position here. And we're gonna run around a little bit because he's dropping the puddle there. And then again, I'm gonna move a little bit further than normal. So that we can go back into this spot. I'm gonna rally because the team is dying. I'm gonna just leap through here. He just dropped his puddle. So we can get into position here. The blob is dead. Hopefully we can get necrotic reset here. And now we're just gonna try to when we thunderclap, we're gonna try to hit these spores so we get a victory rush proc and help keeps ourselves topped. Also keep the spores in a good spot. Gonna move far here, because you don't want to be limited on your space with these spores.
The Titan bought us time, but Gahun will not stay contained for long. We must gather our
So that
forces
wasn't too
and
bad.
stop
We
the
just
rot
had
at its source.
Crackball was a little spicy because we had the decayed death and then nobody to battle res him. But, it was pretty good.